What's up guys, this is Astranox. It's time for the showcase of Hwayoung. She has 15 skill ups and I try her in high offense, high speed teams. This is my fourth account and her stats are ridiculous guys. She has 50% more attack. She cannot land a critical hit. Do not build critical hit chance and critical hit damage on this hero. It is useless, but her damage is tremendous. It's pure destruction. She destroys Violet. It feels good. So the way I have her built is on speed set with broken 2-piece, and you can definitely have her on immunity. Now, the stats that I have on her is 245 speed, which is crazy. You don't need that much, guys. And I have over 7,000 attack. Oh my god. I've built defense and not health. The less amount of health you have, the bigger the difference in health between yourself and the target, the more damage you will be dealing. I have her on the Guild War Unity artifact because I want to have 20% hit chance versus maybe Ice Hero, Evasion based heroes. I like the Unity Guild War artifact. There's a lot of other artifacts you can put to good use on her. I'll talk more about that in a minute. But you can see here, I soul burn the skill number 3 so I can skill 3 into skill 1. Look at the damage versus Violet. 100% defense penetration, maximum damage, almost 30,000 damage. Oh my god, feels good. And you can reach 7,000 attack with less speed. You could have attack percentage main stats on your boot. I'm using speed there. You could have her on an attack set. You don't need to have her on a speed set. But I need her to be fast because I want my heroes to go back to back. And I want to outspeed the enemy. I want to go first. I want to do my thing. I want to take out Violet before the rest of my team starts doing some AoE attacks and stuff like that. I don't want him to counter-attack my team. I just want him out of the equation. And Hwayoung can do that for me. And she can do that for you as well. So that's really cool. She's fire. You know, Violet is green. You can use her to just basically destroy all sorts of heroes. It doesn't need to be Violet. Okay, light and dark heroes, it's gonna be pretty simple. Now maybe an ice hero, not the easiest of feast. You know, versus Rem, I actually open on her to take out Rem. You will see the result in a few minutes. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of heroes that she can take out. You just need to make sure that they will have a decent amount of health on them so you can actually deal maximum damage. You need to have 67% more damage, I was told, to get the 100% damage increase. The skill number 3 is a single target attack skill, right? So basically what happens is that she removes all debuff from herself, she gets immunity buff for 2 turns, and then she has 100% defense penetration versus that target. Really cool. Now you can boost the damage all the way up to 100% more if there is a difference of health between yourself and the target. The target needs to have more health than you. You know, 67% more is 100% more damage. It's an extra multiplier. It's great. And then you can soul burn for 20 souls if you have a mage with the Gale's Ancient Book into the skill number 1. And the skill number 1 gets a 15% combat strength push if you have it skilled up. If you have a buff, it will deal extra damage based on her attack. So very impactful skill 1s. It's great. Look at the damage, man. Oh my god. You can have her on counter set. You can have her on attack set. You can have her on speed set. I mean, you could have her on a lifesteal set. So you could have more bulk than me. You could have a knight in your team with Aureus. You could have a Fallen Cecilia with barrier or some other hero that gives her barrier. Maybe a thicker one, thicker than what she has. But she starts the battle with barrier that scales based on her attack. So it's already pretty thick. You don't really have to worry about that, right? Now, you do have to worry about Operator's Cigarette that could open against her. If she's squishy, she could get one-shotted with skill number 1 of Operator's Cigarette into the skill 3 versus your whole team. So keep that in mind. That is definitely a weakness of hers because of that barrier. Other heroes that might, you know, be stronger if you actually have a buff on her. She can easily trigger Rimuru as well. That's something else that you have to worry about. But, you know, outside of that, she's doing pretty well, man. You can see the damage of skill 3 is completely ridiculous. The skill 1 damage is quite up there. And, yeah, you need an attack buffer to really make her shine. So bring along your favorite attack buffer in the team. and let her rip, man. Like, it's gonna be a lot of damage. Look at that versus Rem right here. Okay, you have to worry about one thing, is if you miss your attack, you're only gonna be dealing 70% of your damage with the skill number 3. So, well, I mean, that's the way it works. A miss means 70% of a normal hit in damage. So, yeah, if I'm dealing, let's say I'm dealing 30,000 damage with skill 3 versus Violet, right? Okay, now what happens is that if I miss, that's 70% of the damage. And then if they have Knight with Aureus, that could be up to 20% of the damage redirected toward that Knight. If they have a barrier, now all in all, it looks to be about half the damage. Maybe a bit more than half. So 30%, 30,000 damage versus the Violet. If I miss, if they have Aureus maxed out, if they have a barrier on that Violet, I'm gonna be dealing roughly 15,000 damage on him. That is assuming he, the difference of health of myself and Violet is giving me 100% more damage, which means that with my 9,500 health, if he has like 15, 16,000 health, I'll do max damage versus him. So with 7,000 attack, with all those layers of protection, without, Adamant Shield doesn't work because I'm not actually doing a critical hit, right? So with all those layers of protection, yeah, about half the damage you're going to be dealing. So I think the sweet spot is about 7,000 attack, and try to have 10,000 health or less. It's going to be rough. You're going to have to maybe reforge some pieces of gear if you really want to deal with all sorts of Violets in all sorts of scenarios, but you will still need that attack buff. If you don't have the attack buff, you're not going to be able to pull it off versus Aureus, Barrier. So that's something that you should keep in mind if you miss your attack. But if you're using an artifact to boost your hit chance, like the Guild War Unity artifact, maybe Oath Key, but you're not going to get the damage increase, you will reduce the chance of missing. So that's definitely a solid way to go about it. Now, in terms of other artifacts, there's other viable ones. You could be running Sigurd's Sight. Maybe she's on counter set. Maybe she's on speed set. Doesn't matter, but she can be running Sigurd's Sight. You can be running Uberius' Tooth. Now, that is 75% chance all the way up to 100% chance if you have it fully limit broken at plus 30. You can deal an extra amount of damage based on her attack, and she has a crap ton of attack. So Uberius' Tooth is definitely a viable one. It's hard to have it maxed out. You can use her own artifact, 10% attack increase permanently, and then you can inflict a burn, 75 to 100% chance depending on how high you have it limit broken, right? And enhanced. But it's a burn, you have to worry about the effect resistance. Like, it's not the easiest thing to land. Maybe they have immunity. Yeah, that's why I prefer to have hit chance from Unity Guild War artifact, maybe Oath Key. Another artifact that boosts her hit chance is definitely going to be helping you out, I think. Other ways to build her, maybe you build her with high effect resistance with the Strat Gauntlet. The thing is, she already removes all debuffs with skill 3. She gets immunity buff for 2 turns. The skill 3 only has a 3-turn cooldown after skill up. And if you soul burn, that's basically a 2-turn cooldown because you're going into the skill 1. So that means it's, 2-turn cooldown on skill 3, which is ridiculous. So yeah, I think there's some other viable ones that you can have on her. But yeah, 7,000 attack seems to be pretty sweet. If you have, well, I have the Unity Guild War artifact, so that's 16% more damage as well. So you have to keep all that in mind. It doesn't mean that you're going to be missing all the time as well. That's another thing. But if you have some hit chance versus ice, that means you're going to be missing 30% of the time instead of 50% of the time. Maybe they have Moonlight Dreamblade. So with 20% hit chance, it's going to be good to nullify that on Arbiter Vildred, all sorts of heroes that might have that, all sorts of thieves. But yeah, I mean, I really like the hero's performance. She's strong, but if you're running like bruiser teams, tanky teams, it's gonna be rough to boost her survivability, right? Like, because you don't really want to push her health. It's not gonna work too well with her kit. You need to push the defense on her. With the Bear, it's pretty decent if you have Aureus in the team. But yeah, I think she's more for offensive play. Still, you can have her on counter on a slower build and still make it happen. So yeah, I definitely want to try her with other builds. But this seems pretty solid, and you don't need penetration sets because the skill 3 penetrates 100% of the target's defense. So that's really nice. It would help with skill 1, but it's okay. It's not gonna be that great. But yeah, let us know what you guys think about all that in the comment section. That's it for this one. I'm Astranox. Good luck with all y'all do. Peace out for now.